It's time to take things to the extreme. Welcome back to Fog Wrestling. It's time for a retro review, and we are going back 13 years in the past to review WWE Extreme Rules 2012. Most notably, this pay-per-view is remembered for John Cena versus a returning Brock Lesnar. You get CM Punk against Jericho in a Chicago street fight. Randy Orton versus Kane. You've got Cody Rhodes versus The Big Show. You've got Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus in a 2 out of 3 falls match. And much, much more. And why did I review this match? Or this show, sorry. Well, you know what? A lot recently. I've reviewed a lot of the 90s, right? And I thought, you know what? We're currently reviewing the Ruthless Aggression era and TNA. Why not review a pay-per-view from the early 2010s? You may be thinking, right, that's very weird. Why would you do that? Well, I'll tell you why I did this. Because back in the day, around 2012-13, right, these kind of years, wrestling was nosediving. It really, really was. It was a case of, right, everyone's jobbers apart from like the main event scene, and the product overall was pretty garbage, right? Fast forward to 2025, the entire product's garbage. There's like 0 main eventers left, and the ones that are a bit done. So I thought, well, let's actually go back and appreciate a pay-per-view that is 13 years old in a period that might actually be underappreciated, review it, and see if it holds up to today's standards, and more importantly, to other eras. So we are here in Chicago, Illinois, with New Year's Revolution. No, it's Extreme Rules, of course. Epic promo package, right? It starts this show, Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. Brock Lesnar's come back. He's going to add some legitimacy to the WWE. Laurinaitis has brought him in. Cena versus Brock. This is after John Cena's loss against The Rock at WrestleMania 28. I'm all for it, guys. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. That is a main event match if I've ever heard one. It's an Extreme Rules main event match. You know, blood, chains, mad spots with 2 big fucking behemoths. Brock's just back for the UFC where he battered the fuck out of people. Absolutely crazy. Now, in terms of where you're wondering, buddy, where you could have watched this from. So, apparently, WWE.com back in the day were charging $44.99. Pal. Now, if you wanted the HD version, that cost it $55. Fucking hell, what is going on here? But we kick off the show with a bit of a recap. The pre-show, Santino beat The Miz to retain the US title. Cody Rhodes big show match. The wheel gets spun. It's now a tables match. We also cut to Terry Long, who's kind of at this stage, you know, being used as a lackey for Eve and John Laurinaitis, because I believe he lost the Team Terry Laurinaitis match at WrestleMania 28. He's running around with the name tag on him, pal. If this happened in 2025, they'd say this is racism, folks. But Kane makes his entrance because it's him versus Randy Orton in a Falls Count Anywhere match. The build up of this match actually looked rather intriguing because you had Orton kidnapping Paul Bear. So Kane returned the favour by kidnapping Cowboy Bob Orton. So again, just immediately off the back, you've got these two guys in a feud, and the story is like, you know, they want to kill each other because like they're kidnapping each other's family members. Does that not just sound like 100 times better than any of the fucking garbage that we see in 2025? Of course it does. Now, I know you could argue, well, Bob Orton's older in 2025 and Kane, well, Paul Bear's dead. Yes, but there's other people on the roster in 2025 that you could just fucking whip at their fathers. But what the problem is, folks, another reason why wrestling's fucking dead, Kane and Orton have actual overfathers. You know what I mean? Guys with like recognition in the wrestling business. And that's not to say you can't become reckoning. John Cena's father was a nobody till he got fired over the barricade and Orton punting him. So it can happen. But some decent spots in this match. Booker's like, oh my goodness, it's Randy taking to the street boy. And you know what? Booker T is just fucking adding a bit of atmosphere here. There was also a sign that said Macho Man Hall of Fame. So that was quite interesting. We think backstage brawl leads back there. Kane's not selling any punches from Zack Ryder, who's just joined this fight for some reason. He's brawl. Well, I think that's around the time he was feuding with Kane and all that good stuff. The match at this point, it's like what, 10-12 minutes. Cameraman falls down, which is funny. Other couple of spots backstage. They managed to get out to the ring again. Some big moves here. Kane at this stage is what? Kane must be like mid-40s here, you know. Booker T's like, Randy, I'll just drop that boy. And yeah, Tombstone on a chair. Orton manages to sliver out of it, cracks him with an RKO, and Randy Orton picks up the victory after about 17 minutes. And I tell you what, I think Randy Orton's boring. Kane's best work at this stage is fucking well past him, but again, he can still work because it's the fucking big red machine. Glenn Jacobs, legend, one of the goats in my opinion. But a fun, entertaining match between two actual stars to kick off the show. When the fuck was the last time I could sit here and claim that? Anyway, we then cut backstage. Eve's talking to Laurinaitis. Laurinaitis then gets a phone call. It's like some cheesy phone call. That was Triple H. I need to go somewhere private. Eve, she's got the executive administrator role on here. I tell you what, she's got big diddies. Back in the arena, we've got Vicky Guerrero saying that Dolph Ziggler is going to batter Brodus Clay. Jack Swagger's out there. Funky's on a roll, yeah, Funky's on a roll. Thank you, Funky, I'll be here. Somebody call your mama down. Somebody call your mama down. Somebody call your mama down. Tell you what, man, this was just fun and entertaining. Yeah, it's a Brodus Clay Dolph Ziggler match, right? What are you expecting? You know what I mean? But Hornswoggle coming out, midget Brodus Clay. It was quite funny. Brodus Clay wins after 4 minutes. At this point, you're thinking, right, Dolph Ziggler, do you have anything left in the tank, pal? Anyway, up next, Big Show. Well, it's the Big Show versus Cody Rhodes table match. Now, I have no fucking idea, folks, whether or not this was scripted, whether it was accidental. I remember the consensus at the time was that it was accidental and it was it was a shoot, pal. I actually don't really care what it was. This was actually a very unique ending to a tables match where Cody Rhodes drop kicks Big Show and he steps through the table, accidentally breaking it, but here that's the rules and Cody is the new IC champion. Match ends with Big Show battering the fuck out of them, but Cody is the new IC champion, so you know what? Round of applause for me. So far we've had 3 different matches, 3 very different matches, 3 different endings, and just overall, I'm entertained, pal. I'm entertained. So this was good. Good. And a load of table spots at the end, which I liked. Backstage with Daniel Bryan getting talked to by Matt Striker. He's like, yes, I'm going to do it. Yes, I'm going to do it. As he left, AJ Lee was watching him in the background. We then saw a video package what happened. The build up to this match, obviously. 18 seconds. Sheamus defeated Daniel Bryan. And yes. So unfortunately for him, it's all over. And at this point, you're thinking, right, is this match going to be any good? We get a 2 out of 3 falls match between Sheamus and Daniel Bryan. Bryan does the kicks while Sheamus is at the ropes. This leads to 1-0 Sheamus because he gets disqualified. The crowd are chanting Daniel Bryan. They're in Chicago, so they're a wee bit, a wee bit marky. Daniel Bryan gets the second fall. Sheamus passes out because he applied the yes lock, but obviously on that injured left arm that Daniel Bryan risked getting disqualified just to injure. So again, some good fucking psychology. Sheamus manages to win, some good countering in the end, hits a brogue kick, 1, 2, 3, and the match went about 23 minutes. I mean, it's a different type of match again from the other 3, and that's all you can ask for in wrestling, man. And this is 2012, guys. We're not going back to 90 now. We've got Rock and Austin. Undertaker. Even Undertaker did wrestle here, right? But so far, you've just had a fun, entertaining card with nothing really to complain about. I mean, maybe this match went a wee bit too long, but again, I'm not going to agree about it. I'm not going to agree about it, folks. We then got a commercial for Over the Limit, Randy Orton. What's going to happen there? Feed me more. Oh, right back. Buddy's 2 jobbers. There was a fucking King said a line. What was it he said? He's like, forget about 2.5 men. These 2 right here's 1.5 men. And Michael Cole and Booker T were laughing like schoolgirls, man. It was honestly it was hilarious. It was honestly brilliant. Ryback wins, obviously. CM Punk was interviewed. He's like, you know what? We're in Chicago. I'm done playing games and I'm going to make Jericho go to sleep. So, up next we got the promo package for this fight. And I tell you what, street fight. I like the street fight clothes. You've got whiskey bottles, beer. You've got fire extinguishers, elbow drops through announce tables. The Spanish announce table, damn it. Bloody brilliant. Match went about 25 minutes. It was definitely better than the WrestleMania match. I think that's naturally going to happen when you add, weapons into the mix. GTS in the end. Some good spots in there, like I've already pointed out. Liked it. And Jericho, a nice touch was Jericho when he got hit with the fire extinguisher. He was like grabbing the referee to wipe out his eyes, which I liked very much. So we then went backstage. We saw Eve and her cleavage. Eve told Nikki that her opponent is going to be a surprise, but she said, "Don't worry, it's not Karma." But it turns out the mystery opponent is Layla. So yeah, Layla manages to defeat Nikki Bella. I mean, I just don't care for women's wrestling. This is at a point where they got one match a card, so obviously good for them. Thumbs up to the women, folks, because this was a point where they only got one match instead of 5. But let's be real, I think most of us of the older generation that grew up back in the day preferred this. Moving on, Laurinaitis is like, Triple H will be on Raw tomorrow. People power. It's time for Cena, Lesnar. I will fight until my final breath. Cena versus Brock. This was great. Down and down and down. He was getting booed, Cena. So was Lesnar. It was a really weird one. Like, half the crowd wanted Lesnar to win, half the crowd wanted Cena to win. You've seen families with, like, Cena gear on, and then you obviously have, like, the men. They wanted Brock to win. Just immediately, Brock Lesnar elbows to the head of Cena, busts him open, the refs stop it, boo, we want blood. Cena's just getting battered by Brock Lesnar at this stage of the game. 2 suplexes, man. Ref got a bump as well. Cena then gets absolutely battered with a shoulder tackle. They fight on the floor. Cena's left arm looks absolutely fucking done at this point. He then wraps the chain around Cena's legs, man, over like the turnbuckle. And he's just battering the fuck out of him. Absolutely great. He goes for an F5. Charles Robinson gets hit by like Cena's trailing legs. There's no referee to count because it's knocked out Robinson. Referee John Cone made his way down. Cena then kicks it at 2 because it was a big ass delay, pal. Then, this was absolutely mental. Lesnar gets hit. Cena then goes for his leg drop maneuver off the top rope onto the steps. Lesnar rolls out the way. Cena rolls to the outside. Cena is then on the outside. Lesnar jumps off the bloody steel steps and land it face first in his leg. Fucking hell, his knee just smacks the ground. We've all seen the spot of Lesnar like doing the spear maneuver over the top rope to Cena. What a fucking move, by the way. I know it's a bit botchy, but it looks fucking real. It looks like 2 men hitting each fucking brawling, man. Yeah, this was some good shit, pal. Cena hits Brock with a steel chain that's wrapped around his wrist because Brock went for the same move twice. Lesnar's now busted open. Cena picks him up. Attitude adjustment onto the steel steps. 1, 2, 3. Brock Lesnar loses to Big Match John. His first match back. I tell you what, it felt massive. It felt great. What else is there to say? I mean, it was extreme. There was blood, like the first real usage of blood in WWE at this point for a number of years, and I think you've got to factor that into the rating and the actual review. Got to bear that in mind. I mean, yeah, people at the time, and I remember thinking, well, me, 12-year-old me, why is John Cena beating Brock, for fuck's sake, But I understand it. Because Cena's just lost to The Rock, but I don't think if Brock beat Cena here, it would have been the end of the world for Cena. Cena then cuts a promo after the show. He's like, I know it's CM Punk's time, but it's wrestling. He's like, I could be out for a while. He's like, oh, he injured my arm, damn it. He injured my arm. We'll talk about it tomorrow night. Show goes off the air. He's like, yeah, good guys, bad guys, big guys, small guys. We put it on the line for you people. Thank you. And there we go. I tell you what, guys, Brock Lesnar's first match in 8 years. What a fucking match. You know what? This may seem high. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, this pay-per-view. It lacked segments, but I do think the segments they did backstage, considering it was John Laurinaitis and Eve most of the time, they did a decent job. But every match ticked a box that it needed to tick on this show. And the main event, I can't remember the last time I watched a WWE pay-per-view of like recent years. I know this is 13 years ago, but let's just say recent years, where it felt like this. Now, I know obviously there has been, but thinking like the last couple of years in WWE, man. Oh, but what about Rock? What about Roman Reigns versus Cody? Yeah, but you know why that feels big, guys? Because we're putting in Cena, Taker, Rock. Oh, it's a 5-year fucking title reign. This was just a one-on-one match between Brock Lesnar and John Cena, Extreme Rules, and by God, did it feel epic. Anyway, 8 out of 10. Really suggest you revisit this pay-per-view because what a main event. Blood. Two guys going at it. Two real stars in this business. What a match. What a show. Oh, yeah.